Places in society where power is housed, power and wealth, understand full well the importance and impact of hip-hop culture.
The soundtrack of American capitalism.
Ask any major business and corporation.
Hip-hop's first stage was the streets of South Bronx.
For me, coming into hip-hop studies, there was no hip-hop studies per se, something that some faculty would advise me not to do. And why do you want to limit your research to such a small cultural phenomenon?
But Sammy Aleem's first lessons in hip-hop came from roller rinks in New Jersey.
I remember being 6 years old and folks were playing Bambaataa. They were playing things like Melly Mel. But what hip-hop means to people is something far more significant and profound. This is an arts movement that has radically transformed individuals, communities, and societies.
Nearly 50 years since the birth of hip-hop, the UCLA scholar is leading a new initiative on the global phenomenon.
But what about 50 years from now, 100 years from now? How will those generations have an understanding of hip-hop culture?
I'm not trying to be egotistical or anything like that, but who else could do this show here in LA?
A lot of the major figures are still here with us.
Influencing politics, art, activism, and fashion. Scholars are documenting hip-hop's history alongside the people who built it.
Hip-hop artists themselves are theorizing the culture from within.
Longtime leader of the rap group Public Enemy, Chuck D is the program's first artist in residence.
We call it hip-hop, but he refers to it as the next iteration of Black creativity for survival.
Building on decades of hip-hop study on campus, the initiative will also serve the city's Black and Brown communities.
As building a pipeline from high school to UCLA, where you could study hip-hop culture as a very serious focus.
Bridging gaps between hip-hop's past and future.
We're losing some great ones with every passing week. And so if there is a level of urgency and passion and emotion behind what I'm saying, it's in part because of that.
In the birthplace of West Coast hip-hop, the initiative establishes the campus as a leading center for hip-hop studies globally.
Do justice and to do right by the hip-hop community itself. Culture creators, the artists.
In Los Angeles,
we don't exist without that.
I'm Amanda Brandeis reporting.